So let's talk about the Palestinians for a second. I mean, you have invested tremendous. You spoke about the 250 trips to Israel. I mean, no one can say that if there's someone who tried and tried and tried to bring those sides together, it was definitely Tony Blair's up at the top of that list. What can we do now to get this process back on track? I mean, there's nothing. There's no communication. There's no dialogue. There's no coordination right now. It seems that everyone we're waiting for Abbas to leave office, for new leadership. What, in your opinion, can change the paradigm here?
Yeah, well, it's a great question and a very difficult one. Look, I came to two conclusions from not just from the 12 years since I left office, but even before that when I was in office. And I came to two conclusions. The first was that this isn't really a question of negotiation around territory. I mean, it is, of course, but it's not primarily about that. It is about genuine, deep cultural acceptance. And secondly, I came to the conclusion that the foundation of the approach in the region, which is Israelis and Palestinians negotiate peace, then the rest of the region joins in, was literally the diametric opposite of what needed to happen. That actually what you need to do is to create peace between Israel and the Arab nations and include the Palestinian issue in that peace. So the question is, what do you do now? I think we've got to try to bring forward and persuade a generation of Palestinian politicians that the only way you're going to get a Palestinian state is through a genuine and deep understanding between people, between cultures, and not just a negotiation around territory.
And if you had a recommendation to the government of Israel right now, what would it be in terms of the Palestinians? Is there something that Israel can do as a gesture, as outreach, to try to get the leadership to come to the table?
I think the most important thing in the meantime, as there's also, because there will become a passionate debate around Palestinian politics in the region. I mean, that debate is starting. I think the most important thing for the government of Israel is consistent with its security to do everything it can to alleviate the economic conditions of the people, because that's a really tough
right.
problem for the moment.